Hello everyone, welcome to GNU According to CD. This is Government on National Unity and it is getting lit every single day. But anyways guys, I want to share a video of many women that are going through this, and one of my relatives actually went through the same thing. We didn't know. I must also put it to you that I'm a Zulu. My family, every one of us, 100% Zulu people, and we don't take nonsense when it comes to our female relatives, especially when it's our sisters, our cousins, even neighbors as well. So one of our cousin sister was married to a Nigerian man. Actually, they were not married, they were engaged. And the engagement itself is questionable according to our Zulu customs and values, the whole Lobola thing and what have you and what have you. So he manipulated my cousin by saying, no, we are born again Christians, we don't do that, what not, thing. And so when we as the male cousins were like, no, but this is how things are done, they overpowered us, and then she decided that, okay, I'm gonna cut off my family and go marry my Prince Charming. Now, we didn't say anything. We said, okay, you can go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do with your man. But just know that in this family, when you defy our customs and values, there are consequences, because we do believe very strongly in the African traditions and cultures and things like that, even though there is element of Christianity involved as well. So we didn't know that for the past 6 or 7 years, this girl was undergoing the most gruesome of treatments from her fiance slash husband, or whatever it is the situation was. Now, eventually she came home 2 Christmases ago, and then I noticed that her arm was not performing the way it's supposed to. And I deliberately went and touched, like, accidentally, inverted commas, to see if she's going to go ouch or feel some kind of discomfort, because sometimes you got to look for signs, especially if you have suspicions that something is going on. And this was a hyperactive little girl who was now subdued, quiet, timid, and always sought for permission, and she never used to ask for permission. And her phone just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. She would go outside. And I just decided for that day, let me follow her and see what is going on. All the signs of abuse was all over her. So that is why eventually I went and I deliberately, accidentally squeezed her arm to see how she was going to react. And she reacted exactly the way I thought. Pulled her aside and I said, what's going on? She said, no, there's nothing going on. I'm like, no. I'm your cousin. I'm your favorite cousin, and we used to talk about everything. What's happening? No, she didn't want to tell me. But anyways, there are many ways to skin a cat, right? As they say. So I tell my cousins, my brother Gego Umzulu Paka. He is like typical Zulu. You tell him, that is why we don't tell him things, because he takes things with 180 kilometers per hour reaction. I don't know who told him. The next thing we knew, we were at the door of my cousin sister's home, and her husband was there. Not only was he there, he was with another woman right there in bed. How did we find him in bed with another woman? Because my brother, the one I'm telling you about, kicked open the door and he went straight for him. When I say he went straight for him, he wanted to know everything, and he was apologizing that he's not going to do it again. And then the question we were asking, what are you not going to do to her again? Beat her? Well, like, you were beating her. Okay, okay. Ngindi to ngindi, man to man, amano to amano. There is no way you are going to touch one of our blood and nothing happens. My sister also had I'm talking about my, what do you call this? The one that I'm born with from my mother's womb. Got a boyfriend, and the boy was from Zimbabwe. Slapped my sister once, my brother once again, with a speed of 1,000 kilometers per hour. That boy had, like, literally had to run away to Zimbabwe, leaving his own parents behind. So I'm wondering about these women that are coming out on TikTok asking South Africans to help them from their Nigerian husbands who are abusing them, who are doing things to them. They are financially abusing them, emotionally abusing them, physically abusing them, and actually, that word with the S, abusing them. And on top of that, some of them even saying that their husbands stole their money. Pension fund. I don't understand this pension fund thing with the 40 something year old women. Your desperation is really getting you into trouble, financial trouble, and embarrassing your families. And so now, this other lady, she was sharing how her husband convinced her to take her early pension. And then the husband took every cent of their money and went and married another woman in Nigeria with her money. Now she's leaving. She's left behind high and dry. All for what? Stigmatized? Anyways, this video that I'm going to be playing you, it's about 10 minutes long. Please do go through it and see what you are seeing from this woman is a representation of every woman that is married to a cruel, evil Nigerian man. I'm not saying all of them are like that, because I've seen a good Nigerian man married to a South African woman and treats her like a princess. So it's not to all Nigerians, of course. It's those that are evil downright to the bone. And the funny thing about these people, they are so religious. What kind of, and anyways, let me not get to that because I don't like talking about religion. So basically, this woman that you are going to watch, she's asking help from the President of the Republic of South Africa. I am sorry, that's not going to happen because our taxes are not going to go solve a marriage of an adult that chose to marry this man. Secondly, she's asking for help from Gayton Mackenzie and Patriotic Alliance. We all know what Gayton Mackenzie stands when it comes to foreigners. Also, she's asking help from South Africans, and unfortunately, South Africans are not having it. They're telling her she deserves it, and it's been a long time that South Africans have been warning these young ladies about Nigerian men, but no, they would mock South African men, call them all kinds of names, and still go into bed and marriages with these men. So South Africans are saying, please leave us alone. Now, I want to talk about Chidimma Adetshina. She married her Nigerian husband. There's a video of her Nigerian wedding, and nothing about that wedding in those videos. You see an element of Zulu, as apparently she's been claimed to be. And you know Zulus and weddings, and you know a Zulu bride, how she would look. She will not be wearing some Nigerian attire without a tolo or something that represents the Zulu culture. But yeah, we're not there. But Chidimma married her husband, I think, last year. And in less than a year, she divorced him simply because the husband was not supporting her modeling career. And the husband believed that a woman's place is in the kitchen and baking children in her belly. And so Chidimma was like, there's no way that I'm going to continue being married to a man that does not believe in her dreams and only wants to be the only one, probably to be the provider of the house. And that wedding or marriage bore a son. So that is why we know her to be a mother of one, a divorcee. And yeah, so all I'm saying to say is that this lady that is asking for help on these YouTube videos and TikTok, Chidimma found the divorce court. She did not go to any police station. She did not beg, go to any court for court order or protection. Or she went to a divorce court, ma'am. She found the divorce court, which you should actually do the same. Find the divorce court. And secondly, South Africans, together with Gayton Mackenzie as well as the president, when you talk of a marriage, we're talking of a bubble, a family bubble. Nobody can penetrate through that bubble. Sometimes some people even coding off the law from penetrating into that family bubble. So we're not going to disrespect that. South Africans respect marriage. We respect the institution of marriage, and we believe that we must mind our own business when it comes to marriages. Yes, that is why GBV is so prevalent in South Africa, because many of South Africans simply mind their own businesses. They don't go and interfere in another man's house. We all leave it to the law. And then she says she's got 4 children with this Nigerian man. And in my head, I was like, oh, there we go again. We're going to have 4 more outrages coming in the future. Yes, those kids are very much innocent and they did not ask to be here. But the unfortunate part about this whole thing is that these children are going to suffer the same scrutiny and consequence of being half Nigerian and half South African. This is so unfair to these children. Now, I do not want to be seen or looked at as I'm being insensitive with this lady. I am very much sensitive to what she's saying. As a matter of fact, I got really, really emotional when she was sharing her story. But our hands are tied. She tied our hands by marrying him 15 years ago. I mean, she does mention that he used to abuse her even before they got married. Then why did you enter into a marriage with a man that possibly could kill you at some point? Now you will hear the story about why she seems to be stuck. Psychologically, she's locked up. Just listen to her story. I'm just going to leave it here and make up your own mind about what South Africans are actually facing. What exactly is going on? And when we talk about these things, we are xenophobic. But in this case, I don't think South Africans are interested, and I don't think South Africans will even take an interest. I'll be very surprised if Gayton Mackenzie got himself involved rather than actually advising her to go to a divorce court and then deport this man. Because once he's no longer married and then he's doing what he's doing, that's un-South African, and he needs to, if he is a permanent resident or is a South African citizen because of the marriage, that needs to be revoked ASAP and then deported back to Nigeria. And all the other Nigerians need to learn the same lesson. And I want to say to the Nigerians that are married to South African women and treating them like princesses, keep it up, brothers. Keep it up. We see you. And we do see those that are evil. But other than that, guys, let me leave you with this video. Make up your own mind. Do what you will with it. But if this woman was my sister, I'm telling you, this guy will be back in Nigeria, like all the other ones that tried our cousin sisters and our sisters. They're not in South Africa today. We put them in the plane and we saw the plane take off and said, you better come back and you will see what will happen. We don't play, we Zulus. But other than that, I hope this lady has brothers. I hope brothers will take some kind of action, because that's where she's supposed to go to for help. Go to your family. Maybe she cut off her family because of the man. You know, when a woman is stigmatized, she actually does abandon her own family for somebody that is not going to treat her well. The next thing when they accept her, she's in a coffin. Very, very sad. Very sad. I hope, ma'am, you are going to find a divorce court and divorce this man and then have him deported, because you do have that power. Other than that, guys, please do not leave without liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on this video. Let's see each other again in my next one. Goodbye.
Today, being the 29th of July, 2024, I'm making this recording because I need South Africa to help me and help my children. President Ramaphosa, I need your help. Patrick Alliance, Mr. Mackenzie, I need your help. Tlalax, I need your help. Operation Tutula, I need your help. I'll just try to narrate my story, but I'm coming here because police have failed me. The legal system have failed me, because I'm dealing with somebody that can pay everything. So it happens that I've been married to a Nigerian guy for the past 15 years. We met when I was very young. All throughout these years, year in, year out, he'll be beating me, swearing at me. And I kept on keeping the proof of everything because I know the person I'm dealing with. Maybe it's because of the filter. If you can check here, I've got 2 permanent black marks that are able to clear when you look at me directly. This was on my birthday years ago. So as he's been abusing me, 2016, I got a first protection order. He promised to change as always. He knows how to manipulate the mind. He knows how to play mind games with me. He has made me lose my reasoning capacity so bad. I have 4 children with this guy. He met me with no child. I've got 4 children. So it happens that as he's always beating me, I open up a case this year, March. The case, it was so hard for him to get arrested by this GP police, until I had to ask Katora's parliament to intervene. That's when he was able to be arrested. As he was there, he stayed 1 month at Sun City. At Sun City, they wanted me to agree to bail. They were not going to give him bail until I agree. I'm allowing him to get bail. So immediately, as he was there, he kept on calling. He had an access at Sun City of a phone. His family kept on calling me. I couldn't sleep. His family that are here, his brothers, they went to my family to go and plead with my parents that I will not endure abuse anymore. That they have seen me being abused. They also have seen it with their own physical eyes. They know very well how me and my children were living here. Finally, I did allow to the bail. As he went out, the bail conditions was that he stay separate, I stay separate. As he was staying elsewhere, he kept on calling me, checking on the kids, saying he'll be a better man. I kept proof of everything. He asked for me to take him to counseling. I organized counseling for him through Lifeline. Started coming back to the house little. Little did I know that he's coming to take away everything from me. It took everything. Fraudulently, he changed cars from my name to his friend's name. The last time I dropped the Kia Sportage I was driving, it was by the car dealership where he said they're looking for the car to buy it through finance. But those cars were in my name. He stole my ID. I couldn't vote. I couldn't do anything. He took my particulars, took everything from our business account, cleared everything. He just got his permanent residency to stay in South Africa just April. Just this April, he got his permanent residency. That's when he became worse. He said for me to take him to prison. He's gonna show me. Then I asked him, but you've been abusing me for 15 years. What option did I have? Because the abuse now is affecting the children so bad. On the 26th of May, he defiled the warrant of arrest, the protection order that I had. The only thing that I thought is going to protect me whenever he starts being violent. Waphula endlini, he broke the house and ran and left. Amaphoyisa lawa ngiwabizile we-10-111 mewefika ngibachazela ukuthi lo bhuti lo wenzani, and that he took my particulars that I can't vote, I can't do nothing. I did keep evidence of all these things through the camera at our house that he installed to monitor me. All these years I'm a slave. I must serve and worship him in everything he wants. I'm not allowed to have friends. I'm not allowed to go many places. He monitors me through the cameras at the house everywhere he is. My life is just a mess. And I'm long ngiphila so for the past 15 years. To a point whereby he abuses the kids as well. My kid, Umdala has marks where he was beating her. He slaps my kids, a female child, on the face like he literally abuses us. Whenever I so now because I want to say no more to abuse. Wathatha your kid, wathatha your kid. Ngiyahlupheka nabantwana bayi-4. Since March, ngisapota abantwana ngiyi-1 from my savings. I've ran out of my savings. My kids are owing school fees at school. They're owing 150,000 rands, but this man took everything and he's using our system to make sure he frustrates me. So on the 26th, after like 30 minutes, he came to the house here with his own police using the state car. Are you aware there's cameras la? Here's the real perpetrator. They allowed him remove all his clothes from the house. They stayed 45 minutes lying lamaphoyisa zena. Ngabachazela lamaphoyisa ngabatshela ukuthi lo bhuti lo uthatha ama-ID ami. It was on the 26th. We were about to vote. I said I'm not going to be able to vote because he took my temporary ID. He took my original ID. He took all my documents. Lamaphoyisa bewangitshela ukuthi ngizoboshwa. Ngibabuze ngiboshelwani. Here's the perpetrator. Here's the warrant of arrest. All these things that azenzayo is going against the protection order. Mara zange bambophe. Baphuma naye la endlini bamsiza ukuthi abaleke la endlini abalekele authority. Babhadala because bekalahla i-bank statement la bekalahla ikhadi lakhe lase-bank la endlini. Ngayenza i-bank statement yakhona ngabona la bhadala le phoyisa leli on the 27th of May. That's when they opened up a false case against me. Ngayazi case yakhona. No one came azongibopha endlini. No one came azongitshela ukuthi mina ngifuna amaphoyisa ngine case, because the last topic we had with the police previously that came on the 26th, the one that made him run away, was that I should come to the station the following day, meet the police that was in charge of our case initially, and he's going to be the one to help me with the warrant of arrest, and he's going to be the one to help me get all my documents. Sorry. And it didn't make sense because the previous police had nothing to do with it, hence the case was withdrawn because of pressure. I must drop the case. And the only witness to the case, as the police officer told me, is that the only witness I had to my case was my daughter. I didn't want to put my child through so much trauma. This is part 1. I'll do another part 2 because it's only giving me 10 minutes to record. But I really, really, really need help. Not for me, but for my children. Ngiyahlupheka nabantwana bami.